Hey everybody, it's PT. I know you guys saw my live earlier today, and I've been getting my videos out a little late, so I wanted to get them out early. So there may be some days I don't do the music and stuff like that. I just want to talk to you guys and let you hear me. And like I said, I'm in a transition of moving downstairs so that I can really get back into my show because I have people who live below me. So when I move around, whatever, I can't really stomp and move around like I want to. But a better day is coming, guys. Welcome to PT Showbiz Top 5. And if you guys have never seen this show before, I do 5 and I go down to number 1. I try not to stay all day on the subjects and stuff, but I just try to give you the best that I can give. I love you guys so much for supporting my show here. And I really appreciate you guys supporting me on my radio show. They're about to do some really big stuff here, and I got a phone call from them this morning, and he was telling me that they are going to be doing some stuff with Apple, and they're going to be expanding. So I got to turn on my light. I forgot, and they're going to be expanding and stuff like that. And so I'm very excited about this. I know that. A lot of times you want things to go the way that you want to, and some people want them to go the way they think they should go. But when God has a plan for your life, it's not the way you want it to be, and it's not the way somebody else sees it. It's the way He wants it to go. So I'm very grateful for Real Talk 100 Radio, and let's get right to it. On number 5 today, I'm going to talk about this police officer who'll be punched today. He's going to get punched. Okay, number 4, we're going to talk about Drake and Big Frida. Child, they're going to get sued allegedly. And of course, Showbiz South for number 3. Let's talk about my friend Wendy in this comedy tour. Wendy. And number 2, we're going to talk about Young Thug. Child. He said he's not gay, but anyway. And of course, number 1, we're going to be talking about Nene Leakes. Girl, the police is looking for her, child. I'll tell you what she did. Okay, guys. All right, let's get right to this PT Showbiz Top 5. And don't forget, you can listen to me every Monday through Friday on Real Talk 100 Radio, and I'm very grateful for them and the things they're doing for me. Let's talk about this police officer who's going to get punched today in the face by PT. Well, he has been arrested and charged for trying to kidnap a 12-year-old. And they said that he went up to this school bus stop and he tried to get the girl to get into the car. He asked the girl, would you like a ride to school? She said no. Okay, this is not the end of the story. The fool came back. And listen, first of all, before I finish the story, I'm going to count to 10. If you have any children listening, please let them go to the other room because I'm going to tell you what he did, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so what he did, he came back and he decided that he wanted to urinate on this girl, 12 years old, and videotape it at the same time. He has been put on administrative leave without pay, and he's been charged with all types of stuff, endangering a child, obscenity to a child, attempted kidnapping, and so on and so on. What a sick person this is to do something to a 12-year-old like that. He goes by the name of Solomon. I can't even pronounce it. Let's say Solomon the Fool, because I can't. It's like an African name, so I can't pronounce the last name. So, 34 years old. Now, listen. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but most of you guys do. When you do things to these kids and you go to prison, that's the end of your life. That's the end of his life. If he goes to prison, which he probably will, if they got videotape, that's the end of his life. They got to do whatever they can to make sure he never sees the light of day again, and they have every right to. I mean, just sick. Anyway, he's punched today on PT's Showbiz Top 5. Let's move on. Let's talk about number 4. Let's talk about this Drake and Big Frida mess that's going on. It seems like even when this stuff started with Pharrell and Robin, was it Robin S? Not Robin S. I think it's Robin Thicke. Yeah. Well, when people sample other people's music and stuff, and later on in life or later on down the line, people say, that's my music. Those are my beats. Well, this is what's happening. This is what's going on with Big Frida and Drake. Well, according to this New Orleans guy who had the beat on Nice for What, he said they used that beat from Nice to What. Nice to What is a song. You can go and Google it or look it up. his name is Samuel Nicholas III. He said that they actually stole this beat from him, and he didn't realize it until years later. So now he's suing for quite a few companies, and he said that this was published back in 2000. And again, like I said, he didn't know it was stolen 2 years later. So he's going to be suing Asylum Records, Cash Money Records, and Public Records. And he's suing for a substantial amount of damages. So, listen, these people don't think that their beats are going to be something. They don't think that their beats are going to be number one. They don't think that. And so, when somebody like Drake or Big Freedia gets to their beats, if this is true, it could be alleged. It's all alleged. If it's true, then, oh, well, you got to make sure. I always think ahead. Always think ahead. Don't never think about, oh, I'm just going to do this beat and ain't nobody going to pick this beat up. No, make sure you have that stuff in writing. Make sure you have, you have to do that, because if you don't, these things happen. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Let's talk about, of course, Wendy Williams. Well, y'all know I'm a big Wendy fan, and when things said about her on the blogs, I have to talk about it as well. It's been rumored that Wendy's comedy tour is not doing well. Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. First of all, now I could be wrong, and I think that every comedian deserves a chance. It's like me as a blogger. I'm not a big blogger. I'm not someone like I'm not on radio and stuff like Gary and stuff. And I deserve a chance just like everybody else, right? Well, so do these comedians. But it's a little bit harder to push a comedy club when nobody really knows who the comedians are. Now, I don't know if that's the reason, because they're saying it's alleged that it's the ticket sales or whatever. I personally think that Wendy could have did all this by herself. What Wendy should have done, and I'm gonna tell you, and I hope she sees this video, Wendy should have had a talent night, talent search, Wendy's talent search on the road, instead of letting these comedians come up, and maybe let the comedians, some of them, open up in different cities and stuff like that. Because I just don't think people want to see comedians that they never heard of. Now I've seen comedians I've never heard of that are absolutely funny, but at the end of the day, I think that maybe if Wendy maybe if she had done something like a back to school program and raised money for the children in that city, and did a talent night, talent search all at the same time, it would have been a success. Of course, they wouldn't have been able to do a lot of cussing and all that kind of stuff and all that. She could have made the talent night, 21 and up, or something like that. But anyway, I'll keep you guys posted on that. Here's some of the cities that have been supposedly canceled. Detroit was canceled on October the 5th. And then you had Cleveland, Atlanta, so on and so on. And they're saying that you can get your money back. So kudos to Wendy Williams. Honey, keep living your life. Keep doing what you're doing. Again, I don't think she needed those people. She could have did it all by herself. Let's move on. Let's talk about number 2. Let's talk about Young Thug. Okay, now I really tried, to me, when people say, oh, I'm not gay, it's really not a big deal whose business, who's what, and what they do in their bed. But when rumors are circulating around and around about you, that you're gay and that you might be messing around with men, listen, there's a lot of straight men who mess with trans and consider themselves straight. There's a lot of straight men who just give and who don't receive it, but they give it and consider themselves straight. You have a lot of straight men who only mess with trans, and they feel like, oh, I'm still messing with a woman, or somebody who has breasts and look like a woman, but they consider themselves as straight. Hey, if that's the way they feel, in my opinion, you ain't straight. Well, here's the latest on him. He was on Big Boy Radio. Shout out to Big Boy Radio in Los Angeles. And, of course, it came up. Rumors been speculating that you're gay. What do you have to say about it? So I'm going to let you guys hear what he had to say. We'll talk about it after.
People judge me, and people say gay, but it's like, nigga, at one point, I probably had more, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's serious. I'm definitely sure you're gay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if people think that I'm gay, they already misjudged. I'm the straightest man in the world. Man, I hate guys, but what? Yeah. What are you talking about? I'm not even having no threesome with no nigga like no. Right.
Girl, bye. Anyway, he's talking, I ain't even having no threesome with no. Well, child, there's a lot of straight men that have threesomes with other men, with girls, you know, and they're not gay. I really believe that. And I guess we probably say, well, Big TT, whose business is it? Well, if it's circulating around and around and around, then I guess people are going to always be talking about it. And you're going to always be defending yourself because it could be true. It's something to it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, you're not going to just start saying O.J. Simpson is gay unless you've heard things or know things. You're not going to just say, you know, somebody in your neighborhood is gay unless you actually heard things or know things. And again, like I said, a lot of these guys mess with trans and they consider themselves straight. Okay, so what happened was not too long ago, it wasn't too long ago, but he did post this on his Instagram one time. He went to this guy's male rapper's Instagram and said, oh, he's handsome. And then it's alleged he said, oh, that could be my hubby, which is a slang for husband. Oh, come on, child. Again, like I said, it's nobody's business but his. But my thing is this, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. And when you say things and you do things that make people wonder, then, you know, you could be. You know, and it's so sad that if he is gay, he can't be himself. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about Nene Leakes. Well, child, there may be a warrant out for Nene Leakes. She was into the airport the other day, and somebody had a camera, and they was trying to take a picture of her. They asked if they take a picture, and baby, next thing you know, she bloop, knocked it out of their hand. Now, and Nene, of course, you know, the laws in Georgia is if you touch a person while they're filming you, that's considered assault. That is considered assault. Here's my problem with Nene. Nene, you know, you probably didn't ask for this fame or whatever. Maybe you just looked up on it. I don't know. But you've been in the business long enough to know that if somebody comes up to you with a camera, then you know not to touch them. You know that's just suck it in and just be like, damn, I don't want to be on film. But if you got your glasses on, they really can't look into your face anyway. You have your glasses on. Here's another thing. If it had to be in TMZ, would you have done that? No, you wouldn't have done that. If it had been TMZ, you would have been like, hi guys, there's no way in the world. You would have slapped that camera out of TMZ's face. There's no way. So I feel like that Nene's been around long enough. She's been around long enough to know how to control herself when it comes to the public, when people want to take pictures or they want to video her. But now the police is looking for her and she may have a warrant for arrest and she may be charged with assault. She's going to have to learn how to say, no, I'm good today, or just don't say nothing at all and just keep walking, because this won't be the last time that she's going to be followed by the public paparazzi. Okay? All right, guys, I'm PT with all the latest entertainment news and gossip. Thanks for tuning in, and I love you guys so much, and I'll see you later on. And make sure you listen to me in the morning on Real Talk 100 Radio at 9:30 a.m. sharp. Bye, guys. Take care.